You've been involved in a lot of different things. We talked about some of them, but what would you say is the biggest challenge you faced, and how did you overcome it?
Yeah, that is, I think I've had many challenges. Also, it depends a bit what kind of parts of life you want to dive into. It could be personal challenges, it could be professional challenges, like physical challenges, Well, yeah. The list is long. Let's take the personal first. I think my first breakup, I was dumped. That was a challenge. I had never imagined such a thing could happen, but that was just for the movies. Yeah. That really sent me down in the basement for some time. But then, I learned. Talked with some amazing friends, my parents who supported me. And it's that is like, I think when you feel you hit bottom like that, and you take the time. For me, it's always been helping to talk with people when big incidents happen, to kind of refresh your mind, get some new perspectives, and then the growing starts. Then you grow as a person. So that was a big challenge I felt at the time, but in looking back, it's just like part of life, But other like professional, let's take physical challenges. Like in the military, we had tough exercises, freezing, being very cold in the middle of the night, sleep deprived, not much sleep, barely seeing nothing. It can be raining, pitch black. Someone falls and hits themselves, or there's some injuries going on, and you feel a bit like hopeless in the shit. And then you feel like, why am I doing this? What's the point? I could have been home. There's not.
Yeah, what keeps you going in those moments?
Yeah, then I think it's a bit like, I want to see if I can do it.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's going to be someone taking care of me if I fall.
Yeah,
it's going to be all fine. Yeah, it's going to be all fine, no matter how things turn. I know life is a journey, so so I think it's fun to just get through it, and I think I started to appreciate that as I get older. That these downturns is nothing. It won't kill you. Normally, it won't kill you. It's just a chance of learning and reflecting and growing as a person. And also, I had things in politics. Definitely, I think that has been the arena where I have really learned how to relate to all kinds of people with all kinds of motivations, and kind of maneuver in a world where you have to be a bit cautious, I guess, because I wouldn't say you have to watch your back, but people have different motivations, and it's coming from a good place. I have to add that, I would say 99% of all politicians, they're there for the right reasons. Trust me. They're there to really create a positive impact to their society, locally, nationally, or worldwide. But the means to get to the position to actually do that change or impact is sometimes there's opportunity to take a shortcut. So I was facing crossroads where I could have taken crossroads, but that would have been across my values. So for me, keeping relations, I was never gonna backstab a friend. No, I can't do that. So okay, coming back to challenges, I've been part of nomination processes for different candidates trying to get lifted up as high as possible or on the candidate lists. That can be a bit tough and brutal. But nothing you die of. It's just part of that game. So if you keep that in mind, I think you don't drain yourself in the challenge. And lastly, in my job now, being a CEO of a startup is giving you different challenges at different points in time. And the first day is like, okay, how do we get income at all? Like, how do we finance ourselves? How do we get food on the table for the few people we are? Then we grow. You employ new people. You feel maybe even more for them, like they were not part of the initial group, so they really need to be taken care of. They need to have their salary. They need to have job safety. And then as the organization increases in size, you need to create structure, processes. Maybe someone needs to relieve some of their responsibilities, split up and share. That can be challenging for some. But as long as we talk well together, we understand each other, we are open, have the cultural or you create a space of safety where you can actually speak your mind. And no matter what person you speak to, what level or who it is, what background or history they have, as long as we feel safe with talking with each other, I think everything is, we all have common sense. So then we solve things. Yeah.
I think this is a good segue into my next question, which is about sort of how do you handle criticism? And I will imagine that in a lot of these different situations you've been into, from politics and now, building a company from the ground up through Evolve, there will be a lot of disagreements along the way, and people will have their opinions. So for you, how do you handle criticism?
Well, I think I have a two-sided answer to that. I think I have to be honest and say, I think everyone should be honest in this. I think it's the same for most people. Like, getting criticized for something. If you put your effort into something, you did what you felt was the best you could, and then you criticize, it doesn't feel really good. It is a bit uncomfortable. But then I think, and that is something also I think as we mature and get older, we appreciate more and more like that as the opportunity to learn. Because if we're 10 people in the room and there's only one person who is kind of criticizing you for something, well, I assume that is because this person actually have felt there was something suboptimal coming from that person's perspective. They might not all the reasons why you said or did what you did, or why the result became like that, but I think it is a signal of something that you can improve. And you can agree or disagree, but I think I appreciate more and more these signals, and I really want to always make sure everyone in the room, everyone in the hall feels that I'm doing my best as I can to kind of fulfill what they expect from me. And yeah, no, I'm not perfect at all. Not at all. I will never be. I think no one will ever be, but we can all, at least promise to do our best and be humble and hail criticism, because that is opportunity for growth.
Absolutely. I would say feedback is key, and it seems like you're incorporating those kind of feedbacks quite well. How do you define success, and has your definition changed over time, would you say? And perhaps you can describe a moment that changed your perspective in that regard.
Yeah, help me back on track if I pivot off now, but I think definitely must have changed over time. I think when I was a kid, probably I defined success as the player on the national team in football, or someone who held some kind of position or had a billion in the bank deposit, But no, I think for me, a success is a combination of two things. It is your effort, the ability or willingness to be determined towards some kind of goal. And then also striving, working hard towards that goal. If that gives you the gold medal or the silver medal, it's not really important, but you went for it. And of course we will say, yeah, Erling Braut Haaland, a Norwegian football player, he's successful. Yes, he is. He's an amazing football player. But I'm sure I will tell you he has been working for it. Yeah, he had probably some good DNA from his father that was also professional football. But there is a lot of professional footballers that has kids that is not successful. So there's no free lunch. So for me, success, setting a goal, going for it. And then I think I also would like to add, I don't care at all if you hit the first spot or the last spot. The only thing I care about is that you're willing to set yourself a goal and that you're willing to fail. The amount of failure you do, I think, says much more about you than the amount of success, actually. Because if you're willing to fail, be vulnerable, try out things. That is almost success for me. So yeah, go for things. Don't be shy. Don't be afraid. Everyone fails. I fail. You fail. Everyone fail. It's not. It's not dangerous. It's part of life. So yeah.
Yeah, definitely resonates, and it's a lot about the willingness to pursue what you actually want to do, and then do it ferociously through dedication and hard work, and give it your best shot.